Hello everyone, this is Arifa Radwan, your performance management tutor. I'm coming here to tell you a few tips about your exam in June 2023. So performance management, as you know guys, is a subject which tests your numerical aspects along with the interpretation skills, the analytical skills, and theory is very important in PM. So what I'd like to tell you is that 3 tips mainly. The first tip is that practice as much as you can the interpretation part, interpretation of data by doing a lot of mock exams, doing a lot of ACCA, past questions, and your BPP kit completed. Okay, that is for the interpretation of data. The second thing that I would like to tell you is that how to build up on the technical know-how and the analytical aspects is to read the wrong answers at the back of your books, guys. Yes, don't go ahead if you get the answer correctly. Read the wrong answers to know why they are wrong so that your concept is strong and your foundation is very strong. Thirdly, guys, the most important tip, I cannot go without this, is time management. So performance management is all about giving due time to the questions that require those time for the analysis and for you to think. And for the easy marks, you need to go as fast as you can with the flow. So basically, time management is very important. You need to balance out throughout the exam. So these are my tips, guys. All the best to you.
Hi, this is Abby from Phoenix Financial Training. I'm a tax tutor at Phoenix FT and I'm here to give you the final exam tips before the 6th of June for your tax exam. There's 3 things that I would like you guys to do before you approach that date. The first thing, the most important thing, which you've heard me say more than 100 times over the course, is to go through your summary sheets. Knowing your rules is very, very important before you take the exam. So please make sure that you don't just revise the rules once or twice. You should keep doing that till you feel extremely comfortable with the rules of all the chapters. You do not have a choice. You need to remember the rules from every chapter. Do not skip any chapter, especially tax admin, VAT, IHT. Those are the rules students usually skip, but please do not skip those chapters. Make sure you do go through the summary sheets for those chapters. The second thing is to go through your exam feedback. The mock exam feedback will help you understand which chapters you're doing well and which chapters you're not doing well. And the focus should be on chapters that you're not doing well. Practice those questions again. Go back to the revision days that we were practicing questions on those chapters, so you're okay and confident with the chapters that you did not do well in your mock. And the third and the final tip is to make sure that you go through the ACCA's pre-mock exam, which has been sent to you when the mock feedback and the debrief was sent. Please make sure that you solve the question paper by yourself, maybe even in an exam environment. Take 3 hours to solve the paper so that you know what are some questions that could come in the exam. And the pre-mock exam is something that the ACCA publish every sitting few weeks before the exam. So it's something that could be tested in the recent sitting. So please make sure you go through these 3 steps. But if there's anything else that you're worried about, you need my help, you could just drop me a message and I'm more than happy to help you. All the best.
Hey guys, back with some FR tips to secure your exam this June 2023 sitting. First of all, time management. I keep saying this, no matter how much you have studied, if you do not manage your time in the exam, you won't be able to get through. Make sure you are timing each section, whether section A, B or C of the exam, not more than 1.8 minutes per mark. Moving on, reading the question. You can have the correct calculation, you can have all the knowledge about FR but still not be able to choose the right option if you didn't read the question properly. Pay very special attention to the dates, especially when calculating things like impairment, depreciation in the section A, B and C of the exam to make sure your answer is correct as per what has been asked in the question. Moving on to the section C, you can either have a published accounts or consolidation. Prepare well for both. Do not choose anyone. And the interpretation of financial statements, ratio calculations, make sure your knowledge is solid on the ratios, but pay more attention in your ability to analyze these ratios. Do not have rote learn answers and don't write them in the exam unless they have a connection with the scenario. It always helps to use the scenario to plan as to how your reasons will be. Every point as such for a ratio going up or going down should be connected with something in the scenario. Wish you all the best of luck for June 2023 sitting.
Hello everyone, this is Preeti here, and these are your last words for your AA paper before you guys approach your June 2023 exam. Okay, few things you need to remember. Always start with section B of your paper. It is very important because that comprises of 70% of your paper. So start with section B. From section B, we're going to start with any order within it, whichever you're comfortable with. So you have a 30 marker and you have two 20 mark questions. In that, you can have the audit risk question, remember, with the auditor's response. You have a possible question on controls, which will have deficiencies, recommendation on your controls, along with strengths and test of controls as well, and heavy on your substantive procedures. You have a full 20 marks. Out of 20 marks, 15 marks is on your substantive, and you have few substantive procedures as well in your 30 mark question. Don't forget to revise on your audit reports, guys. Do remember to read through the illustration of the audit report before you go into your exam hall, so that if there's a question that comes on that, you are comfortable to answer that question. Do revise on your accounting standards. It is very, very important. Don't forget to go through the structures for each question, like how do you answer an audit substantive procedure, how do you answer audit risk questions, what we need to be careful about when you're answering. Focus on those elements and you should be comfortable to be able to approach the exam. After you finish your section B, then you move on to section A of your paper. Keep in mind, in terms of the time, you need to focus on just spending 2 hours completely on section B. So when the invigilator says your time starts now, move directly. Don't waste time looking in section A. Move directly to section B. Start answering the questions in section B, and then make sure in the last 1 hour, you're giving your time purely into section A of the paper. Choose your options. Don't spend more than 1 hour. Ideally speaking, even 45 minutes should be good enough, and then come back to section B. If you have time, just add on the remaining points. Please force yourself to stop exactly in 2 hours. Even you may not have finished writing your answers, but stop yourself, move to section A, choose your options, and then come back and complete the section B of your paper. Okay, all the very best, guys, and I hope you do well in your exam. Good luck.
Hi, this is Mustafa from Phoenix Financial Training, and today I'm going to give you 4 points on how you can ace your FM exam. The first point I would say is the theory bit. Read the theory, learn the theory, memorize all the important parts, because theory makes up more than half the paper. The second tip I would give you is the easy marks. Go ahead and get the easy marks in your section C question. They have a lot of marks to give. There are marks for methods, there are marks for writing theory. So if you don't know how to do a certain thing, sometimes you can assume a number and get the marks for the rest of the question. The next thing I would tell you is read the MCQs properly. The MCQs tend to be quite tricky and multiple options may seem right. So I would suggest read the MCQs properly, read all the options before you answer the question. And lastly, practice all the questions on the practice platform. Best of luck, and I hope you all ace the exam.